Hi guys, my name is Kevin and I'm gonna be taking on a journey, on a tour, to be able to see and to understand the perspective of some talks. I have a friend of mine, she's very interactive. She really wants to expound. It's not about the interview, like about a conversation we're trying to have together and to make sure everybody is in an understanding point. Also me to be able to understand her perspective, and we discuss about like the perspective of how we really grew up and how we understand finances. And I really had her speak somewhere, and then I wanted to make sure I wanted to get her perspective on. I just threw her under the bus or something like that, but I want to make sure I really wanted to get her understanding on this perspective. We want to talk about black tax, and I'll let her introduce herself as one of my guests. Yeah, let's go.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Mary. I'm a licensed financial professional and I'm a wealth strategist. Thank you so much, Kevin, for having me. Don't throw me under the bus. Right. I am so excited for this topic that we are going to talk about today.
Then, okay. How do you introduce yourself? Who is Mary?
Well, I like to say I'm a new Iowan because I just like six months ago I moved to Iowa from Arizona, but I'm originally from East Africa. I like to say I'm East African because I've been to almost like 3 countries in East Africa. I was born and raised from Uganda, but I am from Rwanda and I lived and worked in Kenya. So yeah, so those 3 East African countries, that's why I call myself East African.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, how do you understand black tax for you?
Oh my God. That's why I said this topic is amazing to me because number one, I'm African. Yeah, I'm Black, I'm African. And this is one thing that I wouldn't say it affects us, but it's also a blessing to us, depending on how you want to, look at it. So I'll be honest with you. Actually, before I migrated to USA, I didn't know something like black tax even existed, right? And I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with you. These are some of the things we learn as we, move to other countries where we, when we move from our homeland, let me put it that way.
Yeah.
So black tax, like I said, depending on how you want to look at it, sometimes people think it's a burden. Sometimes people think it's a blessing. So it really depends on where you are, on where you're standing, right? And I will explain more, about that. But yeah, it depends on how you want to call it, right?
Would you give us a perspective in terms of how would you define it in terms of how you, on your past, on maybe on your, what do you call it? How you grew up, on how you, in the diaspora as an African, and how do you which perspective do you have on it?
Yeah, so like I said, it's something I look at it in two perspectives, right? 2 different perspectives, depending on where you're standing. So let me first start with the burden part of it, right? The burden perspective. We moved to America, to other countries where that are not our homelands, where we were not born, basically for one reason. Like 99% of us we go to different countries outside our home countries because of one reason. Greener pastures. We want to better ourselves financially. We want to change our lives, our families, starting from like really us financially. So that's one reason why most of us, move out of our countries and we come to diaspora because we are looking for that financial opportunities. But then we have people we live back home. And from the African, from the African understanding, we are supposed to work together as a community, as a family, as as one person. So when one person moves from the country where they were born, and then we go to diaspora, we go outside. Like I said, we come for main reason number one, greener pastures. Then I like to call them like ropes. You see, when you have I was born and raised up in in a farm, right?
Yeah.
In a farm with cows and goats. And so when you have a cow or when you have a goat and you tie a rope on its leg, you're holding it. It's not easy for it to move, right?
Yeah.
So even if it was running, but it has this rope that keeps pulling it back. So that way, I'm bringing this example just to to explain the burden part of black tax. When we have these ropes pulling us, always taking us back. I mean, I'm talking about us who were able to come to diaspora.
Yeah.
We always have these ropes pulling us back in terms of finances. And mind you, let me tell you something. When we come here, it's also very hard for us to first actually settle down. There are some people who have been here for like 10, 15. It takes some time for you. And then I think this is something we're going to talk about in future. It takes some time for us to establish ourselves and settle down. Now, imagine if you were going through those challenges yourself. You haven't figured out anything yourself. You haven't settled down in a foreign land. But back home, people expect you to send something, right?
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are the ropes I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
So with time, when you start, putting yourself together, your life together, figuring out your life, trying to get this job, but you still have the ropes pulling you back. So that's where I look at it as a burden, when I talk about it as a burden, that perspective. But then it's a blessing also, right? On the other hand, as Africans, we are together.
Yeah.
We believe in the philosophy of Ubuntu, right?
Ubuntu,
philosophy. I am because you are, right? When we leave our homes where we were born, it's not like we are separating from those people. Like, really, there's nothing in between us. They're still our people, right? They still expect us to do something, to help them. And that's where the concept of Ubuntu comes in. But then, where are you getting from, right?
Where are you going to?
Yeah, where are you going to? Where, like, really? And I think these are the conversations that we need to talk about, so that sometimes our people also have to understand what we're going through, and to find a balance. Yeah.
And let me ask, how would you put, like, let's put a scenario. I've had some few friends in terms of like, how you come to diaspora. You've been to diaspora, or you've been to the States for some time.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself in terms of the moment you land over here. Maybe you can give us a snippet when you landed, your perception, and then the perception you left at home, and what they were expectations they were expecting in terms of finances. Like I would say, the moment I said I came over here, I was thinking about, within 5 years, I'm out of here, make my money out of here. And I'm still 15 years back, I'm still trying to hustle and trying to balance in between. Maybe it's a house you wanted to build, or something yourself, anything that you are thinking about. Maybe you left somewhere. Some of us had something back there, and then they were thinking, when I come here, I'm gonna have a loaded sum of money, and then I'm back. Maybe you can give us a perspective, like, and then the black tax hits in, the expectations. Maybe you have some siblings or somebody there back. Everybody has somebody there who is depending on you, either financially or some. Give us a perspective.
Mainly. I know when we are coming, the expectations are very high. They're up there. I don't know about you, but for me, I am the first one in my whole family to be, you know what I'm talking about,
I'm a
right?
firstborn also, so I know the scenario.
Yeah. So when especially when you're the first person, the expectations are way up there, very, very high, right? All people in your family, and sometimes even it goes beyond your family, right? I'm not talking about the American
Yeah.
family setup. I'm talking about the African family setup. We always have large extended families.
Yeah.
So sometimes it goes beyond like your close family, and then it goes into the extended family members. They all expect you to do something when you get here. But then when you come here, like you said, reality hits. It's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
And even us also coming from, coming to America or to diaspora, we also have those big expectations,
Yeah.
We also have plans and big plans. We're also looking at big things. You come, you're like in your head, you have this mathematics, you're calculating, you're saying, I'm going to be out there 2 years, 3 years, and then I'll have this amount of money, and then I'll be able to send back home this much, and then I'll be able to do this and that. But when you come here, things change, right?
Yep.
Things change a lot, a lot. And this is something that happens and it catches us unaware, mainly because I don't know how to put this, but I think it's because we don't, should I call it like orientation before we come?
Orientation, maybe you are not given a crash course. Would you say a crash course? Or
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think somebody should tell people before they come. I think like us who have been here, who are now here,
Yeah.
I think we should, like I said, these are conversations we should be talking about. These are things we should be talking. So that people who are coming, they know what to expect. They know how life is very different here from what they have in their heads. And also be able to have these conversations with their family members, so that those expectations can actually match,
But would you say in terms of like the taboo, how we grow up, we have the same settings for the African diaspora?
Yeah.
Like how would you push me around? I brought you to school, the expectations they had for us, like,
Oh,
they took you to school, so it's like it's like
have
an
to
investment.
give back.
It's an investment.
Yeah.
How do you tackle that?
Well, I think I like to look at things in two ways. The African way, the American way. In African way, like what you were saying, when you were growing up, when the family members are investing in you, right? They're raising you, they're taking you to school, they're paying your school fees, and they're taking care of you in every way. So you are expected to give back, or let me put it the right way, to pay back.
Pay back.
Yes, to pay back.
Yeah.
So that also is connected to these ropes I mentioned about. Is connected to this black tax. And me, when I look at that in the African way of looking at it, yeah, it kind of limits those people, like the people in the diaspora. It limits our ability to also realize those dreams that we have, because like I said, let me say like I said, you always have these ropes tied on your legs, so you don't run, and you don't run fast to get your dreams, to get your destination. But when you look at that in the American way, right, or in the developed countries way,
Yeah.
people here raise kids, right?
Yeah.
They invest in them.
Yeah.
They pay for their tuition and everything, but they don't expect them to pay back. No, they just do it as a responsibility. You have kids, you brought these children in the world, nobody asked you to do that, right? So you have to take care of them. It's your responsibility as a parent. So you're not doing this for these children to pay back to you in future. Whether they do it, that is gonna be a good thing for them to do, and you should appreciate that. But if they don't do it, then don't hold them accountable. Don't blame them. It's not, it's not their responsibility to pay back. Or you did this for your children because you brought them in the world. You were responsible as a parent. But us, when it comes to Africans, then it's like you have to do it. You have to do it. If you don't do it, then it's on you. You're not being a good kid. Yeah.
That's a perspective, and especially us growing up, being adults, all the whole thing is kind of a different scene of understanding
it is.
stuff.
I had my sister, my young sister, the other day we were talking on the phone. She's back in Africa. So we were talking the other day on the phone, and she was like, "But there's something that I don't understand." And she told me, "You know what? Adulting is a scam." And I'm like, "Yeah. Why? How? Like, really, how?" I wanted to hear her perspective.
Yeah.
So apparently she didn't know how hard it is to take care of, to be responsible, in other words, you know. But in the financial part of it, not like, to be financially responsible. Now she has kids, now she has a family, so she is responsible financially for some people, right? For her family. And now she's really feeling the burden, the heavy burden that she's carrying. And then she was telling me, "I didn't know how this thing is heavy, not until I am now in that position. And I don't know how you guys were doing it." I'm like, welcome to adulthood. That's what it is, right? That's what it is. So now you have grown up. So now you know what people go through, So if me, I say, and this is what I always say sometimes, I wish, even my close friends know this, I wish everybody can come here.
And then be able to, your explanation could make sense to them.
Yeah. That's when they could really understand what we are talking about here. But when they're over there, sometimes they won't get it. Yeah. I don't know if it's a bad wish or a good one, but
it's a good wish, because everybody just want everything to be like, he thinks if it's a project coming up, they want to include you in the process, but they don't know the process it takes you to be able to what do you call it? I'm not a financially so much, what do you call it? Expert, to be able to put it out in that perspective. That's your area, in terms of like trying to equate the financial constraint that we need between the two economies. You're trying to, and then trying to manage everything at once.
And these two economies are completely different. They're completely different.
Could you give us a small breakdown on your area?
Well, so, I mentioned that I'm a licensed financial professional and a wealth strategist, but that means then black tax is a nothing to them. It's not going to be something to them, like really. And again, at some point, I don't even blame them. You know why? The economy here is really doesn't.
Is the dynamics changing? So is it when you talk about economy, the same scenario, or is the game changing? Is the game changing how they? I don't want to go into details. I don't want to be political or something. Is the game changing of how we used to view the first world countries? Is the dynamics changing, or is it a strive from your money perspective, financial perspective?
I don't think it's dynamics changing. I think it's how do I put it?
This scramble for Africa or something like that?
No. It's not scramble for Africa. It's economy. I don't know how to differentiate that from scramble for Africa. That I think scramble for Africa is a different
scenario.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is these children, they will be struggling unless as parents we do something to set up their future. Of course, like I said, these children are our responsibilities. They then ask us to bring them here. So, so if we brought them here, we have to be responsible for them, set them up for their financial future. Remember, we're talking about finances here, right? So if we don't set them up for their financial future, then what are we expecting from them? Yeah. Remember what I said? Growing up, if we didn't have these conversations, then we don't know anything about what we are going into. So what we have today is what our parents gave us. Me, I like to look at it like everything is based on the parents. Us as parents, we have to do that to our children so that in future they can be able to take care of themselves first and then us next, or even if they don't, but are they taking care of themselves actually? Are they able to?
Okay. Would you say it's like we still have some to take care of ourselves before they can take care of us? We need to clean up house.
What do you mean?
Clean up house in terms of our we have to make sure we set up ourselves, our finances before we can even talk about the kids first.
Yeah. Remember, I want to paint this picture right here. When you fly on the airplane, right? When you fly on the airplane, they tell you to put your mask first, your oxygen mask first, before you help another person. Why? Because for you, I keep going.
Yeah.
Because for you to be able to help your neighbor, you know, the person seated next to you, you have to be, you yourself, you have to be okay, right? You have to be able to be breathing. You have to be okay for you to be able to help the person seated next to you. So if you are not okay yourself, then you'll be not able to help this person. So really, like you said, as parents, we have to be first responsible financially, and then help these kids to also be responsible financially. So that when that time comes, if we really need the help, there's something we did for them to get there where we need them to now come and pick us from.
Okay, that's a really in-depth, and we need to jump in on more on that one to be able to understand the breakdown.
You know, let me tell you something. I sometimes talk to, I do a lot of conversations with parents, like with grown-ups, and I see this mostly in African men.
Let's not start with that one.
I sometimes I'm talking with them like what I just shared with you, and they're like, but me, there's nobody who, like my parents, like I am where I am because my parents did that, this and that, but you know and this is when we are talking about legacy. You know, some of the conversations we have with people is about legacy and setting up children for their future financially. And then they're like, but me, the money that I have is me. Like, it was from me.
Yeah.
I worked for it. Me as Kevin. I worked for this money. I made it. I made myself to be who I am today. So these children, they need to figure it out themselves. And I'm like, really? Is that really? Is that okay? Is that okay? So when I hear somebody saying that, I'm like, oh, now we have a problem. Because I believe that as a parent, and this is my personal opinion, right? You know, somebody has their different opinions. As a parent, like I was saying, You are merely responsible, solely responsible for these children, for this child, for these children. Because you decided to bring them. So why do you want them to figure out things by themselves?
Okay.
And then in the end, you expected them to be there to be your social security when you didn't want to do things from the beginning. You see where the problem is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would you tie it in terms of like trying to where do you usually lie in terms of trying to help the next generation, or as the millennials? How do you give us a snippet? How you usually do what do you call it, the program usually go through, or the steps they need to do to at least do the steps?
Yeah. So let me put it this way. Like I was saying, we come here for the American dream. Actually, me myself, I say I was born, I am here. I like I mentioned, I came here for American dream, and like I said, most of us, like 99% of us, came here for the same. America is a land of opportunities, right? So one of those opportunities it gives us is making money. And because of lack of financial education, and this financial understanding of how things work, us we come with one goal, making money. But then what happens after making money?
Do we relax, or do we start now the journey of thinking about how do we retreat back to default?
Yeah.
Or multiplication, how would you
So now you're coming to the point. So you make money, right? It's good. Everybody can make money. And like I said, thanks to America, because it gives you that opportunity of making that money. You come and make money, but when you make money, after making money, you want to grow this money. Growing. From growing, then you want to protect what you have grown. Because if you don't protect it, you're going to lose it. And if you make it and you don't grow it, then you will stay where you are. Right? And that's where you mentioned the multiplying. So you want to grow that money, you're going to multiply it. So from multiplying or growing it, you want to protect your money. Then from protection, now you want to invest, which is also like multiplying, making your money make more money for you, right? Because if you don't make your money make more money for you, then you will die making money. Not in a good way, right? Not in a good way. Because
I'll ask you another question. Just finish that point first. You have told me about another question I need to ask about that one.
So investing really is putting your money to work to make more money for you. You see rich people, they don't work for money. Their money works for them. So that's where you want to get to. That's the level where you want to get to. So investing it and then transferring it. Now this is the legacy, creation. If you're no longer here, your money, is your money going to still be here?
Are we talking about here? Or I'm
not talking about America or no. If you're no longer in the world, if you have died, is your money going to die with you, or is staying behind to let you live on through your money? There are some people who are still living.
Yeah.
They're living through their money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how do you put it in terms of like our African settings, growing up, buying property? Does it apply to this new tactic of wealth creation. Like back, like I
Yeah.
would say an example in Kenya,
Yeah.
like the scenario of buying land, and then the next generation are supposed to leave the money to or property to.
Yeah.
You find they have no use of the
Of the
dynamics
land.
have changed of the lands because the dynamics of finances have changed.
Yes.
How would you explain that
Yes.
scenario?
Yes. Now let me start with those four or five steps that I just mentioned: making money, growing money, protecting the growth, investing, and then transferring that money. Five steps. So I I meet this all the time when I'm talking with people, and I would be talking about all these five steps, and then somebody would tell me, you know what, I am building a house back home. I am buying land. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I am, some people, from my country, they told me they are buying cars and, yeah, that is good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is good. But I want people to sit and sit comfortably in the system where they are.
Yeah.
Kevin, I think you have gone back to Kenya. You were always back and forth. But do you think you're gonna be in Kenya, like you're going back to stay in Kenya in the next 10, 20 years, 30 years?
Maybe on my retirement plan.
Yeah.
Maybe on my retirement plan.
Yeah.
Maybe on the first 5 years, I'd said in terms of going on within 5 years.
Yeah.
Look at me now.
For a
here.
month, and then you were stuck, right? You were stuck. Again, this comes back to what I was talking about when it comes to airplane and the mask and the oxygen mask. Build where you are first. Because us as parents, maybe I didn't mention this, but I have 4 kids. I'm a mother of 4 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. Us as parents, these children we have, they're not going to live in Africa. Trust me, that's what you talked about. If you're buying land, and then the next generation, they don't see the use of this land, they will sell it off. Or if you're building a house, they will not live in this house.
Yeah.
By that time, there will be other things. So me, I look at it as first build where you are. That's the first oxygen mask on you. So you have children here. So the life you're living here, this is what I'm looking at here in America, right? I'm not saying that people should not invest back in Africa and their homelands or whatever. Do that, but me, I would do that as the next project when I know I am already set up here, because I am here to stay. I'm staying here for the next, like, maybe 30 years, I don't know, 40 years. That's the period I'm looking at. So when I have built what I need to build here, and then I will, try to build in Africa. But I meet people, they always saying, I am going back to Africa. I am going back to Africa. They keep saying that, and it's 1 year. Before you know it, it's 1 year, it's 2 years, 3 years, 10 years down the road. They haven't left. They are still here. Maybe what they're trying is they're building the house, the home in Africa. They're building, they're buying the land. But then, like you said, these children, they are going to sell off this house or this land because it doesn't suit them. It was for you. You built it for yourself. You didn't build it for them, because they have other things. They have different picture. They're looking at different things. So like you really wasted your money, you wasted your time and your energy. That's how I see it personally. Yeah. So depending on who is looking at it, but me, that's how I look at it.
Oh, that's a very practical way of looking at it. You're given an example of us being as parents, us having people who are depending on us, and being able to diversify our character on how it's going to be the next steps, and then how do you, maybe that goes back to maybe another question I might ask you. How do we maneuver in terms of like, how do you usually help people in maneuvering in terms of saving, whatever they having, working with what they have or what we have? How do we do that?
Like I said,
way.
yeah, practical way. Practical way. Saving. Someone will tell you it doesn't even exist because they haven't saved anything in the last 10 years. They've been trying to save, but I just remembered something. Who was I talking to? Like yesterday. Was it yesterday or the other day? What I just talked to you about, trying to be here, but you're also building in Africa.
Trying to be in two places at once?
At once. And I tell people that we come here physically, we are here, but mentally, we are back there. That doesn't help us to really. And like we were talking about, the American dream is a journey you start. But if you were in two places at the same time, it's only God who can do that. Can be in more than one place at the same time. But us as human beings, sometimes it's hard. You will not focus anywhere. Yeah, you are here, you're there. Your mind is up there. Your body is here. You're not focused. They even talk about chasing two rabbits.
Yeah.
What happens at the end of the day? You lose all of them. Yeah. So is what I'm talking about. So when it comes to saving, saving is hard. It's very, very hard. Saving is a sacrifice you make. Yeah. You have to sacrifice.
Out of your comfort zone, or will you say, what did you say at?
I was talking with my children like a week ago. We were talking about saving and, doing all this kind. We were having money conversation. You remember the taboo we didn't have when I was growing up. So we were really, trying to have it now with them. And I told my daughter, she was saying, but how can I save when I have all these bills that I have to pay? I have to pay for rent, water bill. And I'm like, you have to pay those, but you also have to save. And she said, I can't because, and I'm like, you have to put this money on the side for saving, irregardless. Irregardless. She's like, but that is not impossible. And I'm like, then you're not saving because saving is sacrificing. So what happens is when you have money in your bank account, it's just, now we have our accounts on our phones. It's just a click away and you get that money out. So the best way to save is where you're not seeing or touching that money anytime soon. You see, as from the African perspective of saving.
I need to see something coming in and then I need to see it. It's just staying there. I need to.
So that's the problem now, right? So you have this $500. Let's say you give yourself a goal of saving, let's say $5,000 at the end of the year, right? So $5,000 every month, you'll be saving, let's say $500.
Yeah.
So month one, that's January, $500 there in your bank account, saving account, at Chase Bank. February, that's month two, $500. It's now $1,000. Month three, which is March, you put that $500. A brother in Kenya calls you. You know what, Brother Kevin? Oh, my children's school fees are not paid this month. They're going to be out of school. Please, I need your help. You're going to reach out to that money. Get that $500 and send it to your brother. Now, you were at $1,500, but because you took $500 out, now you're back to $1,000.
Yeah.
Then be like, so next month, I'm going to try to put in $1,000 now. Because remember, there's some obligations you didn't do last month. So you keep trying. By month 6, which is June, we are halfway through the year. You haven't hit 5,000. You haven't actually hit half of your savings goal. because you've been reaching out to that money and taking it out. That's why saving from where you're seeing or where you can reach is not gonna get you there. That's one. You need to have this money saved, but where you cannot actually touch it anytime, like it takes you. It takes you mental energy and mental, it takes you something for you to reach, to get this money out.
Maybe I might ask, when you put it out there, where maybe you can break it down next time in terms of like, where do you put the right place for it to make sense, the returns?
We're gonna talk about it next time. But also, that was one part of, looking at it. You cannot touch this money anytime you want it. The money you are putting on side for saving, you cannot touch it. If it's that for saving, that's what it is. But also, this money has to be making more money. You have to, which you were talking about. So that if you're putting on the side $500, maybe at the end of the month, or at the end of the year, at least you have 500, and maybe this 500 is now $700.
Oh.
Yeah, so that makes more sense, right? But if the wrong way we get it as Africans, we put money in savings account, which doesn't grow our money. But it doesn't mean that this money did not grow, because money, naturally, the way money is made is meant to grow, to multiply, It doesn't mean that where it is sitting is not growing. No, it's growing, but it's not growing for you. You who put it there. It's growing for somebody else. So you need to put it where it is growing, and it's growing for you, where you cannot touch it. But when you touch it, it has grown and has grown for you.
Maybe it will help us, some of your friends or viewers who are going to be watching, can be able to you break it down in a simpler way.
Yeah.
Don't make it complicated.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. So, we have all plans, we have all goals, but we do them the wrong way. Yeah.
We need to learn more about that, the right way, and then when it's comfortable. As much as you might worry much about the finances, and then as currently as you know about the economy, it's not really good. Everybody is hurting.
Yeah.
And how do we maneuver in terms of being realistic and maneuvering? A loaf of bread was costing $3, right now it's costing $5. Well, my employer is not whoever my employer or whatever business I'm doing is not.
Yeah, it's not
matching
up. Yeah.
So we have to be realistic about it also.
Yeah.
That's the reason we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
In a realistic manner.
Yeah.
The math is, we usually say the math is
not mathing. Yeah, I know. And that's what we are also, that's the whole conversation we are talking about here. Again, if your money is sitting in your saving account, we all know your savings account is not growing that money. And if it's growing that money, at what rate?
Yeah.
Is it matching up the inflation? Is it matching up the economy, like we were saying?
Yeah.
So again, you have to know, maybe we're going to have this, the whole of this conversation next time. So if your money is sitting somewhere where it's not growing, it's not, you can touch it anytime you want, and it's not matching the inflation, it's not matching up the economy, you are screwed. Sorry to say, but you are, right? You have to, and all that comes back to what we were talking about. The money, the money game, the rules of the money game.
Yeah.
So if you don't know these rules, this is where now you are, you are really struggling so hard. I just remembered as the other day I was talking with someone, and we were talking about saving. I was trying to show them what to do with their accounts, savings account and everything. And then they told me that in their language, they have a saying. Well, he put it in English, but I was able to understand what he actually meant. That when a monkey swallows something, it counts those that has gone into the stomach. But if still holding some things in the cheeks, then that's not the monkeys.
You put it in that scenario, and then you tell me which country is it, and then you can put it out. There's nothing.
But did you understand it?
No, I didn't understand it. It need to be. There's some jokes you put it in a. Which language was that first? Let's start there. I want to put myself in the when you put it out there for how he said it.
It was funny, but it was.
Which language was it? I'm not leaving that alone.
No, that I don't know.
Which country is that one?
South Sudan.
South Sudan.
Yeah.
I'll need to check with some of my friends. I know them. I'll check them.
They have that saying in their
proverb.
Yeah, their proverb that a monkey counts what it has in its stomach. Before it is in the stomach, then what it's chewing, that's not for the monkey because somebody is going to take it away from it. So when it comes to saving, you better count it when it's in your stomach.
Oh.
Because when it's in that bank account, you're going to take it out.
That's a very funny one.
I know.
Okay, let's look in the other terms of like that was a very good scenario. We need to check on another scenario of things like how and let me ask these questions. How do you tell somebody no?
No. That's a hard one.
Yeah, because it relates to the black tax. How do you tell somebody no? In terms of I need money. How do we tackle that issue?
You know, sometimes saying no is hard, but it's also easy. Depending again on who is saying it and who you're telling it to, right? When it comes to black tax, remember we said it's a burden, but it's also a blessing. So where are you standing? I like to look at it this way, and first of all, I think you need to set boundaries, you know, and our people back home, don't get me wrong, because
they
are there. Don't get me wrong. I thought they're here, so they are there. Don't get me wrong. We need to set boundaries. I'm telling you, because if we don't, every time somebody comes up with something, then they expect you to send that money. Remember, you're also struggling here. We have to face reality and be open, have open conversations.
Don't sugarcoat everything.
No. By the way, I'm not good at sugarcoating. Yeah, that's my weakness. Yeah, I'm not good at that. So let's have open conversations, open communication, and set boundaries. Which circumstances or which situations or which scenarios are you going to give this money out? Not everything, really. If it's that, then you're going to cover everything. You're going to cover everything. And now you will forget about yourself. And Kevin, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If something happens to you, nobody back home is going to help you. It's going to be at your rescue here. Did you catch that?
Only few people will be able to. They will say you wasted your years, years, all those kind of stuff.
He's been in America for 30 years.
What has he done?
And you will have nothing to show for it. You will not even remind somebody that, remember I sent you my $50 2 years ago. It won't work. So it's up to you, to me, and other people to really know, to set this is now where setting boundaries come in. I know saying no hurts, but there are ways you can say no without hurting somebody. And if this person really understands you, they will be able to get it. Otherwise, if you just, you won't like it.
Okay, you heard it, guys, from her, and then from the conversation, it's really interesting, and we'll still have another conversation, and we'll be able to dive in more and more interactive. If you have any question, how can they find you?
Well, to ask me what?
To ask you anything related to finance, anything
All
related to
right.
that zone where
Yeah.
you're comfortable in,
Yeah.
and how can they find you
Yeah.
on your socials?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My phone number is 207-405-9090. Yeah, that's where they can get me.
On the socials, not only phone people, not everybody has phone number in
I
terms of
know.
can they reach you out in terms of find you on the socials. How do you call yourself on socials? That's you're also dealing with people on socials.
I know. I am not that very active on socials apart from Instagram, and I recently started TikTok, but I'm not very active on TikTok. But yeah, Instagram, yes, is Mary Mo. That's Mary, and then MU_. Yeah, underscore. The multi-passionate, yes.
I'll make sure
Yeah.
we'll pin
Yeah,
it
you
down
pin
here,
them down there.
and then we'll
Yes.
be able to have that conversation and able to interact. If you have any question, if you have any what do you call it, any challenge or asking
Comments. Yeah. Be here with Kevin. We're gonna be talking about these money conversations often.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna have a channel, YouTube channel. Don't know.
Yeah, it's already
Yeah.
there, so we're gonna be able to be talking more details, and then probably the next, you tell us what do you want, do you want us to talk about, but also already have an idea, like having a conversation. How do we have that money conversation with our kids? That money conversation is very important. Of like, how do we have, let's call it, let's say, let's try to dive in onto money conversation with our kids.
Yes.
With our kids.
Yeah.
Maybe you can
This
dive
is
in.
something that we need really as parents here to talk about with our kids. If we don't want what is happening, if we don't like what is, happening to us, then we need to change it. But how do we change it? We change it by having the conversations with our own kids right now, Yeah.
Okay, guys, remember all everything you have seen over here. We are at the live networks. This is Carol Kim's Media, and if you need a space to do your podcast, to do your live stream, everything is already set up. You can come with your own settings, how you want it done. You can always set it up. We have on the website, on the live networks, we'll be able to link everything up. And you can always have that conversation, whichever scenario you want to talk about. If you have to host something, we usually have any live stream, anything that you want to do, you can always hook us up. We can always be there for you and making sure everything is running smoothly. Been me, Kevin, and
Mary.
Yep.
We'll see you next time, guys.
See you next time. Adios.
Bye-bye.